Now this is what we understood as timeline last time. It simply shows the place a cash flow which can be placed on this particular line. Say any amount which is available at 0, which is today, will be considered as present value, but any amount after this 0 will be considered as future value, right? So this is right now very easy because we are dealing with PV and FV. Yes, we are going to work with complexity on this. Now some of the rules we understood for computation, it was like any money which is coming to us should be carrying positive sign, any money which is going away from us should be having negative sign. The process of finding out present value is known as discounting, and process of finding out future value is known as process of compounding, right? So this is what was the basic idea. Now this was one very interesting and simple example which we had last time. Find future value of an investment of 1000 made today after 10 years earning rate of interest of 10%, right? Fairly simple question. So all we have to calculate in this is to see, now we will be using our 5 important time value buttons, right, which are highlighted also on our calculator, right? But before we start with any of the calculation, it is very important that we clear or erase the existing data, right? So we do clear TVM. कैसे करते हैं वो? Second and FV button, right? We'll make sure. हुआ लावेश भाई application नहीं हुआ आप कर लो. Which one are you using? Same Texas BA2, right? Right, so we move further. So we clear TVM, then we have to find out what future value, then what is the amount of investment, 1000, right? So we take 1000 to be PV, right? We have taken it in minus, reason it is money going away from us. What is the period? 10. What is the interest rate per year? Once again 10, and all we have to find out is future value. So we'll press CPT button plus future value button and we'll be getting the straight answer.
So how should we, Prashant, put PV and N into the system?
Very simple. Type the number and then press that PV and such buttons.
After that we have to do that minus. You say it last. After
You type, then you press plus minus button to get the sign.
then enter.
Enter, yes. Enter is, no, here enter is not necessary. For 5 buttons, enter is not necessary. Just type the data, press PV button, N button, I by Y button, and you will get it straight.
I by Y means
Interest rate per period.
Prashant, data डाल दिया, उसके बाद
Then find out this CPT button, first button, right? And
accepting.
CPT and then FV button. हाँ वो उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, आंसर विल बी नेगेटिव उसमें. इट वर्क्स लाइक एक्सेल. Okay, so we have solved this and I think all of you are getting same answer, 2593. Okay, now can we work out, say, on what do we say, frequency of compounding for the same question?
It was showing in minus.
Let it be, no problem, because see, it is based on, say, Microsoft Excel based calculation. So if I am taking my PV negative, answer will be positive. If I take answer positive, it is going to be negative, right? So very simple. but we have to be very cautious with sign, because at times when we use so many things together, sign is really important. So we have to actually ensure that calculator understands which data is inflow, which data is outflow, right? So same question, but now we are working on some compoundings. So once again we are investing what amount?
So 1 by y will become
1000
10 की जगह पे change होगा ना?
10 के जगह पर चेंज होगा, रेट पे भी चेंज होगा. Now see, what is next thing suggested or additional thing suggested in this particular question is that it compounds semi-annually, right? And period of investment remains as it is 10 years. ठीक है? So in 10 years, how many compoundings there will be? Say, since it is semi-annually, 2 per year, then for 10 years, how many compoundings will be having? 20. So number of compoundings are 20, or I can say it is just simply 10 into 2. Further, what has been the rate of return in this question? Means earlier question it is 10, so it has been carried here 10%, but for our computation says which rate should we be taking straight away. We cannot take 10% straight away. We need to convert this rate to periodic rate, right? So it is going to be 5%, that is 10 by 2. Done. So this is the simple modification, logical modifications which we have done to this question, and we can once again find out future value.
2653. 2653.
26
53.
2653, it seems correct. Matching, right? Now next is say quarterly compounding.
20 into 10 into 4.
So it is going to be 40, it is 10 into 4, and my periodic rate will further decline.
2.5.
Exactly, it is 10 by 4, and it should be considered now as 2.5, and I can check my answer. Should it increase or decrease?
Decrease.
Answer. The amount.
Decrease.
No, it will go up.
कंपाउंडिंग उतना बढ़ेगा ना.
जितना कंपाउंडिंग होगा उतना बढ़ेगा.
Two
2685. Right, so we can see there is some increase in the answer, and now we straight away move on to month. So our n is going to be 120. Rate you can straight away say 10 by 12 is your I by y, and we have to find out what future value, and it is also going to increase. Answer will further go up in this case.
So you want to say that any investment which is on compounding on daily basis is a good investment.
If it is available. If it is available. See, a contemporary situation says that this investment in bonds and all, excluding all those, see where this compounding is visible, like FD and all, there it is maximum compounded quarterly, nothing more than that. Yes, it should be 2707, right, this is correct.
So I'm not getting the answer.
अच्छा, क्या हुआ बोलो?
Y by y में प्रॉब्लम हुआ 10
10 by 12 कितना हुआ?
जो आया उसको
उसको I by y पंच करना है. कृपाली आ गया. Done. So, and one more. Continuous compounding. Possible है. चलो this हाँ रेस टू करके कर रहा है, राइट. सो दिस वी नीड टू डू, मुझे ही करना पड़ेगा. सी इट इज 1000 into e raised to say rate of interest and time period. Right? This is the function which is never going to be tested in our examination. This we do just for understanding. So it is 1000 into say e raised to, what is the rate? 0.10. How many years? 10 years. So finally it is 1000 into e raised to 1. Right, this is what we have to find out. So first thing which we will be finding out is this, e raised to 1. So in your calculator you have this function to find out value of e, and अब ढूंढ वो e किधर मिलेगा हमको. राइट, सो ln इज मेन बटन, उसके ऊपर आपको मिलेगा e raised to x लिखा हुआ. राइट, सो प्रेस 1, number 1, press number 1 and then press second button, then ln button. It is 2 point, right, so it is 1000. See, इसका वैल्यू मिल गया हमें. It is into 2.72, right. So हाँ, इसका अभी थोड़ा इसको चेंज करते हैं.
So whatever amount
नहीं आएगा. It is 2.7182.
how can we change the decimals?
हाँ, वो डेसिमल चेंज किया ना मैंने. वो आपका सेम आएगा बिकॉज वो उसका डेसिमल सेट है. लास्ट वीक नहीं था आपके पास? अच्छा, इसलिए. इसमें नहीं, मोबाइल का थोड़ा लिमिटेशन तो रहेगा. यू कैन सेट इट, बट फिर वो क्या एप्लीकेशन कुछ कैलकुलेशंस में करेक्ट कर जाता है, फिर मोबाइल हैंग कर देगा.
So whatever amount we need on x, we need to type then and then
हाँ, पहले ये, फिर ये, फिर ई. नहीं नहीं, ये आपका डेट फंक्शन ओपन हो गया है. दिस इज इन बॉन्ड्स. अब करिए. आ गया. सो टाइप 1, देन प्रेस सेकंड बटन, फिर से डेट आ गया. इसको एस्केप करके मैं सी करके बाहर निकल जाऊँ. मूव आउट. राइट, प्रेस 1 बटन, ठीक है, देन सेकंड बटन एंड देन ln बटन.
हर टाइम हम सेकंड से स्टार्ट करते हैं, सेकंड करके सब एप्लीकेशन करते हैं. इसमें पहले नंबर
नहीं, इसमें फंक्शन ओपन नहीं करना है ना. वहाँ पर जो था इट वाज फंक्शन विच वी वर ओपनिंग. यहाँ पर तो कोई फंक्शन नहीं है. इट इज जस्ट अ कैलकुलेशन स्ट्रेट वी डू. ठीक है. सो फाइनली ये पूरा मल्टीप्लाई करने से आंसर थोड़ा चेंज होगा. इट इज 2718.2, राइट. सो स्मॉलर चेंज इन द आंसर. ठीक है ना. चलो, ग्रेट, सुपर. दिस इज द कैलकुलेशन विच विल नेवर बी देयर इन आवर एग्जामिनेशन, डोंट वरी. ठीक है. नाउ वी स्टार्ट विथ सम रिवर्स एक्सरसाइज. नहीं, हाँ, PV to FV. से फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू वॉन्ट 50 लाख रुपीज. कुछ अच्छा ही नंबर लेते. अब हम करोड़ में बात करेंगे थोड़ी देर के बाद. वी हैव टू एक्चुअली, our curriculum insists us to think in crores. So say for example you want 50 lakh rupees after 20 years, then what amount should you be depositing today? And what expect means what return can you expect from market, stock market, for next 20 years? ट्वेंटी 25%? लगता है ऐसा स्टॉक मार्केट अगले 20 साल में CAGR 25% हमको लाके देगा? टफ. So we can expect somewhere between on a conservative basis for planning 12 to 15, nothing more than that. तो 12% 15 ले सकते हैं, subject to condition कि हाँ. Because world is passing through so many uncertainties, so we never know. Right, so in our case, what is going to be the future value? Say 50 lakhs. What period did I assign? Say 20 years. What has been the rate I suggested you to pick up? 12. ठीक है. And instead of computing FV, we compute PV. Simple. It is that simple. No. नहीं, ये तो प्लस में, वो माइनस में है, वो आउटफ्लो आपका माइनस में आएगा. लेट दी आंसर बी, बट आंसर कुछ और कम आना चाहिए.
5,18,333.
5 lakh
18,333.82.
चलेगा, 82 पैसा छोड़ देते हैं, चलेगा. राइट, सो रिकैलकुलेट. देखो कुछ डेटा क्लियर TVM कुछ करके आ गया. ठीक है, चलो. सो नाउ वी वर्क ऑन आवर ट्रेडिशनल basic example. Say what is the amount to be invested today at 10% compounded annually if 1000 is to be accumulated 10 years from now. Right, so ये अपना जो पहले से चल रहा था वही एग्जाम्पल सेम. आ रहा है, ठीक है. सो नाउ दिस बटन्स आर बिकमिंग हैंडी. बस हमें वो मेन वही टेंशन है कि कैलकुलेटर आप सीखते चलो, बाकी सब चीज़ें तो हम करते जाएंगे. राइट, सो कैन वी डू लाइक इफ दिस इज द FV which was on annual compounding definitely. So can we find out the answer say using semi-annual compounding, quarterly, monthly, and say then daily, not continuous. We just now bypass that concept. So it was like future value was 1000 and originally kitna tha? It was 10 years. I by y was 10 and we have found future value and answer was 385. Now solve the same answer considering semi-annual compounding. यहाँ पर चेंज सेम रहेगा as we did while finding future value. Same adjustment is to be done here. So in case of semi-annual, your n will become 20 and I by y will become 5. And I hope this logic is clear. 376. Right, and here you will identify while we were calculating future value with compounding, answer was used to go up. Now here answer is becoming smaller. तो इसको ऐसे समझेंगे कि since I was investing, जितना compounding ज़्यादा होता था, right, मेरा accumulation ज़्यादा होता था. यहाँ पर how that thing thought process should go on, like I want a constant amount, that is 1000. So जितना compounding बढ़ेगा उतना मुझे कम investment करना पड़ेगा, right? So greater compounding gives more benefit. ठीक है. Then say what about quarterly compounding? Correct, 372. And say last चलो monthly ले लेते, daily पे भी नहीं जाता है. चलो what about monthly? 370, correct. ठीक है, clear with this? ठीक. So this is how we can find out present value, and we were actually working on the concept of lump sum wherein we had the single amount. ठीक है. Now we have to move further with uneven cash flows, right? उसका एग्जाम्पल भी लेंगे ना अभी. अनइवन कैश फ्लो में होता क्या है? सी दिस अनइवन कैश फ्लो. So it may happen that, say for example, you're investing 100 at the end of a year, then 200 at the end of second year, 300 at the end of third year, so as for the fourth year and fifth year, and finally what do we have to find out from this is the total accumulation. ढूंढना क्या है इसमें कि at the end of it कितना total accumulate होगा, right? ऐसे भी हम इसको कैलकुलेट कर पाएंगे कि say for example if you want amounts in this particular pattern, then what should be the amount to be deposited today. ठीक है, both the ways we can calculate. So first definitely we calculate for say accumulation. So you are investing in this particular pattern, and all we have to find out is the amount of accumulation at the end of fifth year, assuming rate of return to be 10%. ठीक है, so let's take this on timeline once again. So it is 0, then say 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now my first 100 invested remains invested for how many years in this particular question? It is for 4 years. You can see it is first year, second, third and fourth. That is my final maturity. So for this I need to find out future value individually for how many years? 4 years. बताओ. Rate of interest I am taking here is 10%. Right, so 100 is your present value, n is equal to 4, I is equal to 10 and n is equal to 4. You can find out future value. 146. So at the end of fifth year your 100 becomes 146. Done. Now what is the second amount? 200. It remains invested for how many years? 3 years. So chalo isko, here n was equal to 4. Now here n is equal to 3. To 66, correct. Third amount is 300, that remains invested for n is equal to 2. $363 and 350. It is for just a year, so it is 385. And last is 150. Does it fetch any interest?
No.
Answer is no. So your last investment in this particular case is not fetching any interest. So we have to find out total accumulation at the end of fifth year. So I need to make total of all these numbers, including that last 150. कितना आता है? One, 3, 1, 0. Okay, I'm keeping this answer bit aside. ठीक है. Clear? Done? Can I rub this? ठीक है. Now can we find out present value of all these numbers once again? So objective change, data remains same, but objective क्या change हुआ? In the first case, we were investing like this, and we calculated at the end of 5th year, if you invest in this particular pattern, you accumulate 1310. Now objective says that you want amount at the end of each year like this. Then what is the amount to be kept aside today to achieve this particular goal? हो सकता है ना कि ये 5 साल बच्चों की पढ़ाई के लिए है, अलग अलग साल में अलग अलग अमाउंट चाहिए होगा. So what should be the amount to be kept aside today? Done? Right? Now understandable? ठीक है. तो अब प्रेजेंट वैल्यू ढूंढना रहेगा. सो आई जस्ट रब दिस, नंबर्स को रखते हैं ऐसे ही, काम लगेंगे. सो हर एक चीज को हमें डिस्काउंट करना है. सो वी हैव टू बी ऑन ईयर 0. यस, ईयर 0. सो दिस इज टू बी डिस्काउंटेड फॉर हाउ मेनी ईयर्स? n is equal to 1. So it is 90.9. देखो देखो, आई मे बी रॉन्ग. कैसे करेंगे? सो नाउ दिस फर्स्ट 100 becomes FV, n is equal to 1, I by 10, and you find out present value 90.90, right? 90.9. So it was right. Correct. ठीक है, चलो. अब दिस इज टू बी डिस्काउंटेड फॉर हाउ मेनी ईयर्स? करेक्ट. सो n is equal to 2. बताओ चलो फटाफट.
165.
n equals to 3. से n is equal to 5. और कितना आ रहा है इसमें? 93. Okay, it is 93. So let's see. सब मैच कर लो फटाफट. अच्छा, टोटल. ओके, कितना आया?
812.9.
इजी. ठीक है. सो से फॉर एग्जाम्पल वी डू दिस. Present value is equal to 812.9, n is equal to 5, let I be same 10, and we find out what future value. कितना आता है देखो तो सही एक बार. हाँ चलेगा. 1308. आर वी रीचिंग वेरी क्लोज टू दैट अबोव आंसर? वो जो डिफरेंस आ रहा है बिकॉज वी मस्ट हैव राउंडेड सो मेनी थिंग्स. ठीक है. एक्चुअली इट इज कमिंग समथिंग लाइक दिस. 813.79 if we take all the decimal points, and there it is 1310.61, right, if we take all the numbers. But yes, chalo, what is the learning point from this? Any idea? कि ये सेम तो हो गया, राइट? सो वी हैव कैलकुलेटेड प्रेजेंट वैल्यू ऑफ इट और उसका फ्यूचर वैल्यू कन्वर्ट किया, तो वी आर गेटिंग द सेम आंसर. अच्छा, नहीं डालना चाहिए. क्यों नहीं डालना चाहिए? सो इट गिव्स अस सम हिंट अबाउट से मूवमेंट ऑन द टाइम लाइन, राइट? टाइम लाइन पे हम आगे पीछे हो ही सकते हैं डेफिनेटली. टिल द टाइम आई एम टेकिंग द सेम रेट, मैं कितना भी आगे पीछे करते रहूँगा कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता है. सो से मुझे ढूंढना था ये सबका प्रेजेंट वैल्यू, से फॉर एग्जांपल, बट मैंने ढूंढ लिया सबका फ्यूचर वैल्यू.